Be me, 33, Director of People Operations and Cultural Strategy at a mid-sized tech firm in Seattle. Master's degree in Organizational Psychology. Make six figures sending emails and facilitating synergy. Single by choice, obviously. Men are intimidated by my success. My apartment is a minimalist, shrine to my own ego. Beige walls, abstract art that costs more than a Honda Civic, wine fridge always stocked. Wake up at 5:30 a.m. Spin class, green smoothie that tastes like dirt but signals virtue. Check LinkedIn, see another classmate from uni got married. Smug face, JPG. She's trapped in the patriarchy, likely washing socks while I'm reshaping corporate America. Arrive at office at 8:45 a.m. Open plan workspace, intended to foster collaboration. Actually just a surveillance panopticon I control. Survey my domain. Most of the staff are terrified of me. Good. Fear is a metric of respect. Spot the target. Let's call him Mark, 38, Senior Systems Architect. The unmovable object. Mark is a relic. He's been here since the startup days. Wears the same 3 flannel shirts in rotation. Driving a 10-year-old truck. Does not participate in Wellness Wednesdays. Does not put pronouns in bio. Does not engage in Slack channel banter. He just sits there, coding, fixing servers, being competent. It makes my skin crawl. He represents everything I'm trying to dismantle. The silent, stoic, meritocratic barrier to my holistic workplace vision. I've been trying to get rid of him for 6 months. He's the only legacy hire left. The rest have been replaced by my curated team of vibrant, diverse, and utterly pliable juniors. Walking past his desk, he doesn't look up. Typing speed, God tier. 2 monitors, black screens, green text. He's in the terminal. Good morning, Mark. Tone, sickly sweet, with a razor blade hidden in the frosting. He pauses typing, turns head 45 degrees. Morning, Sarah. Turns back, keeps typing. The audacity. No, how are you? No, you look nice today. No validation of my existence. I feel a spike of irritation in my chest. Go to my glass-walled office. Open laptop. Begin drafting the monthly culture audit. The data is messy. Productivity is down 14% since I introduced the mandatory 2-hour empathy workshops on Tuesdays. Turnover in the engineering department is up 20%. I massage the numbers. Productivity is a capitalist construct anyway. Reframe it as cognitive load balancing. Turnover is strategic realignment. The narrative is what matters. The receipt exists, but I can hide it under a pile of buzzwords. Send report to the CEO, Dave. Dave is a spineless suit who is terrified of a lawsuit. He will sign off on anything if I use the words liability or inclusive. Lunchtime. I go to the break room. My clique is there. 3 junior devs I hired. They are loud, opinionated, and write terrible code. But they agree with me, which is the most important KPI. Mark enters. Silence falls. He opens a brown paper bag. Sandwich, apple, thermos of black coffee. He sits at the small table in the corner. He ignores us. One of my hires, let's call him Jay, whispers. He gives me weird vibes. He never speaks. I nod sagely. It's a refusal to engage with the community. It's passive aggression. I decide it's time to escalate. I need a win. I need to break the rock. Walk over to Mark's table. Mark, we missed you at the allyship seminar yesterday. He takes a bite of the apple. Chews slowly. Swallows. I was fixing the database migration, Sarah, the one that crashed. Work is important, Mark, but culture is the bedrock of this company. The database holds the customer data. Without it, there is no company. He looks me in the eye. His eyes are dead calm. No anger. No fear. Just nothing. Like looking into a deep well. I feel small for a split second. Then I feel rage. I'm scheduling a one for us tomorrow. We need to discuss your integration goals. Okay. He goes back to his sandwich. I walk away. My hands are shaking. Why won't he fight back? If he yelled, I could report him. If he argued, I could frame him as difficult. His silence is a weapon. I will find a crack. I will destroy him. Fast forward 2 weeks. The collision is beginning. I have implemented Project Harmony. New policy. All code reviews must go through a language and tone filter I designed to prevent exclusionary syntax in comments. Engineering velocity grinds to a halt. Slack is on fire. Everyone is complaining. Except Mark. Mark is silent. I check his logs. He hasn't committed code to the main repo in 3 days. Gotcha. He's quiet quitting. He's sabotaging us. I smile at my reflection in the monitor. Time to collect the receipt. I pull his file. Prepare a performance improvement plan. Pip. This is the beginning of the end for him. Meeting with Dave, CEO. Dave, we have a problem with the legacy architecture team. Dave looks tired. What is it now, Sarah? Mark, his output has dropped to 0. He's refusing to adopt the new protocols. He's a bottleneck. Dave rubs his temples. Mark built the core system, Sarah. Are you sure? I have the data. I show him the git commit logs I cherry-picked. 0 commits to main in 72 hours. He's dead weight, Dave, and his attitude is affecting the juniors. Jay feels unsafe asking him questions. Jay actually just feels stupid because Mark pointed out a memory leak in Jay's code. But Dave doesn't need to know that. Dave sighs. Fine, put him on a pip, but be careful. I'm always careful. I leave the office feeling electric. I am the main character. I am cleaning house. Call Mark into my office. He sits down, hands folded in his lap. Posture perfect. Mark, we're concerned about your performance. I slide the paper across the desk. He reads it. Expression does not change. 0 commits, he asks. The data doesn't lie, Mark. Did you check the staging refactor branch? We only measure contributions to main. That's the KPI. He nods slowly. I see. You have 30 days to improve your metrics. Attend all cultural seminars and mentor 2 juniors. Which juniors? Jay and Chloe. For the first time, a flicker of emotion crosses his face. Is it amusement? It looks like pity. Okay, Sarah, I'll sign. He signs. He leaves. I feel a rush of dopamine. I won. He submitted. He is under my thumb now. Phase 2, the collision. The next 30 days are a blur of power tripping. I hover over the engineering department like a hawk. Mark is attending the meetings. He sits in the back. He listens to Jay explain why master-slave terminology in database architecture is traumatic. Mark says nothing. He nods. He documents. I see him writing in a physical notebook. Leather-bound. Old school. Probably writing a manifesto. Whatever, let him write. The receipts I'm generating are flawless. I have logs of him being disengaged. I have complaints from Chloe that he mansplains code. Reality. He told her that her recursive loop would crash the server if N100. She cried. I comforted her and filed a report against Mark for creating a hostile environment. But something is wrong. The system is getting slower. Customer tickets are piling up. The app is glitching. I blame it on technical debt left behind by the old culture. I tell the board that this is the growing pains of transformation. They believe me because I use words like paradigm shift and long-tail value. Mark is meeting his KPIs. Technically, he is mentoring Jay and Chloe. I see them at his desk. He is talking. They are looking confused. Good. He's confusing them. I can use that. Day 29 of the PIP. The big crash. It's Tuesday, 2:00 p.m. The entire platform goes dark. 404 error everywhere. Clients are calling. Dave runs out of his office. What is happening? I run to the engineering pit. Panic. Jay is hyperventilating. Chloe is typing frantically and making it worse. Where is Mark? He's at his desk, eating an apple, reading a PDF manual. I storm over. Mark, the system is down, do something. He looks up. I can't. What do you mean you can't? You're the senior architect. I'm on a PIP, Sarah. My instructions are to mentor Jay and Chloe and focus on soft skills. I am not allowed to touch the main branch without their approval. Remember. My stomach drops. I did say that. I sent an email saying he was forbidden from unilateral code changes to prevent him from overpowering the team dynamic. Fix it now, I scream. My voice cracks. The mask slips. I am not the cool, collected executive. I am a frantic child. I need written authorization to bypass the protocols you set, Sarah. Just do it. Email, please. I fumble with my phone. Send email, authorization to fix server, urgent. He refreshes his inbox. Nods. Received. He puts down the apple, cracks his knuckles, types for 45 seconds. Hit enter. Screens flicker. System comes back online. The room is silent. He turns back to me. The issue was the recursive loop in Chloe's code. The one I flagged 3 weeks ago. It hit N100. He picks up his apple. I stand there, humiliated. Everyone is looking at me. Then at him. He saved the company in under a minute. After I spent a month crippling him. But I can't let this stand. This proves he's dangerous. He held the company hostage. He let it crash to prove a point. He is a sociopath. I retreat to my office. I am shaking with rage. He thinks he won. He thinks competence protects him. He is wrong. I have the ultimate weapon. I have the narrative. I will frame this as malicious compliance. I will frame this as sabotage. He let the ship sink so he could play hero. I will destroy him utterly. I call HR legal. I call Dave. We need to terminate Mark. Immediately. Gross misconduct. Phase 3, the collapse begins. The board meeting. 2 days later. This is the tribunal. Long mahogany table. Dave CEO. Me, the CFO, general counsel, and 2 external board members. And Mark. Mark is wearing a suit. It fits him perfectly. I've never seen him in a suit. He looks authoritative. I brush the thought aside. I have my presentation. PowerPoint deck. The toxic cost of legacy employees. I stand up. I am confident again. I have rationalized the crash. It was his fault for not mentoring them well enough. I launch into my speech. Mark represents a systemic risk. His refusal to integrate, his passive-aggressive sabotage, and his gatekeeping of knowledge caused the outage on Tuesday. I show the charts. He allowed a known bug to go to production to humiliate junior staff. He creates an environment of fear. He is incompatible with our values. I look at the board. They are nodding. They are afraid of the words, toxic environment. I turn to Mark. Do you have anything to say, Mark? Smugness returns. I have him. The receipt is due, and he is paying. Mark stands up. He doesn't have a PowerPoint. He places a single USB drive on the table and a thick stack of papers. The receipt. I have been recording my screen, my audio, and all logs for the past 6 months, he says. His voice is deep, calm, steady. Since Sarah announced Project Harmony, I anticipated a degradation in code quality. I prepared. He looks at the board. The crash on Tuesday was caused by code written by Chloe. I flagged it in the code review system. Here is the log. He slides a paper. Red text, rejected infinite loop risk. Sarah overrode my rejection using her admin privileges. She marked it as approved tone policing. She flagged my comment as condescending. The board members stiffen. I feel cold. I stammer. Here is the audit trail, Sarah. It's on the blockchain, you can't delete it. He continues. Regarding the accusation of gatekeeping, here are the transcripts of 40 hours of mentoring sessions with Jay. He plays an audio clip. My voice is on the recording. No, it's Jay's voice. Jay, I don't want to learn SQL, Mark. It's too hard. Can't you just do it and put my name on it? Sarah says we should focus on high-level concepts. Mark on tape. You need to know how the data is structured, Jay. Jay, you're being an elitist. Mark pauses the tape. The room is dead silent. The CFO looks at me. His eyes are not kind. Mark isn't done. And finally, regarding my lack of value, he opens a folder. I have been personally patching the security vulnerabilities introduced by the new team every night between 8 p.m. and midnight. Unpaid. Unlogged on the main branch to avoid conflict with Sarah's no overtime wellness policy. If I hadn't, we would have been breached 3 weeks ago. Here is the attempt log from a Russian IP. Here is my patch. He looks at Dave. I am not the bottleneck, Dave. I am the dam. But the dam is breaking. I have an offer from competitor. They offered me double my salary and a position where I don't have to apologize for knowing how to do my job. I am resigning, effective immediately. He drops his badge on the table. The sound echoes like a gunshot. The recontextualization hits me like a freight train. He wasn't fighting me. He was protecting the company from me. And I just chased him away. The silence stretches for an eternity. Dave looks at the papers. Then he looks at me. The look is pure horror. Not because he likes Mark, but because he realizes Mark is the only reason the product works. And I just fired him. Sarah, Dave says. His voice is shaking. Is this true? Did you override the code safety checks for? Tone. I try to speak. My throat is dry. The superweapon. I need to cry. I need to claim he manipulated the data. I need to claim misogyny. This is a targeted attack. I whisper, tears forming. He planned this. He recorded me without consent. This is a violation of my privacy. I feel unsafe. I look at the board, pleading, hoping for the white knights to ride in. The general counsel speaks up. Female, cold as ice. Washington is a one-party consent state for recordings if it's regarding business operations and malpractice, which this clearly is. And he recorded his asterisk screen, Sarah, not yours. She looks at the logs. You authorized the deployment of faulty code. That's negligence. The superweapon fails. It jams in the chamber and explodes in my face. The tears don't work. The buzzwords don't work. Biology and reality are in the room now, and they are pissed. Dave stands up. Mark, please wait. We can match the offer, we can. Mark shakes his head. No, Dave. The culture here is incompatible with engineering excellence. He looks at me one last time. No smugness, no anger, just a profound, weary disappointment. You won, Sarah. You fixed the culture, enjoy it. He walks out. The door closes. The aftermath. The collapse. I am fired for gross negligence and falsifying performance metrics. They don't even let me pack my box. Escorted out by security. The security guard is a man I ignored for 3 years. He smirks as he takes my badge. I go home. My apartment is silent. The beige walls look like a prison. I check my phone. Blocked from the company Slack. LinkedIn notifications. Mark has started a new position as principal architect at Competitor. Competitor stock is up 5%. My old company stock is down 12% on news of service instability. I pour a glass of wine. My hands are shaking. I try to call my friends. The girls, they don't answer. They know, in this industry, you are only as good as your status. I have no status. I am radioactive. I sit on my $4,000 couch. I look at the abstract art. It looks like chaos. It looks like nonsense. I think about Mark. I think about his sandwich. His silence. He knew the whole time that I was digging my own grave. He just handed me the shovel and watched. I realized the truth. I wasn't the hero. I wasn't the victim. I was the villain. I destroyed a functioning ecosystem because I wanted to feel important. I chased away the only person who knew how to keep the lights on. Now I am in the dark. Plot twist, the receipt wasn't just the logs. The receipt is my life. I am 33. No husband. No kids. No job. No skills other than manipulation. And the world has stopped buying what I'm selling. I check my bank account. I have savings, but for how long? I look at the empowerment awards on my shelf. They look like plastic junk. They are plastic junk. I start to cry. Not the fake crying for the board. Real ugly, heaving sobs. Because I know, I can't girl boss my way out of this. The void is here, and it is silent. Just like Mark. Acceptance sets in. I open my laptop. Start typing a new resume. Delete Director of Culture. Type HR Assistant. It's all I'm qualified for. And even then, I doubt anyone will hire me. I won the argument. I forced the language chain. I made the office safe. But I killed the host. And now the parasite starves. Be me. Alone. The end.